Hi, Jonathan Peters here, and welcome to Big Heads, Big Ideas. And today I want to talk about Easter eggs and how powerful they are as a game mechanic. So people like to say that the first Easter egg was produced or hidden by, if you want, Warren Robinett back in 1980 with Atari's Adventure. Adventure was the name of the game. And while it's true, he did have an Easter egg in there. And the reason for the Easter egg is because of the conflict between the coders and Atari. And so he hid a message there. But the actually first Easter egg that we're aware of was actually in 1973 in a video game called Moonlander. And the idea was if when you're trying to land on the moon and before you land on the moon, if you just start flying horizontally instead of landing and you go and you go and you go horizontally, eventually you find a McDonald's restaurant out over there. So it's interesting. It's obviously somebody enjoys McDonald's and said, hey, this would be fun on the designer side. And on the player side, it's fun. It's fun to actually find it. So that's usually what Easter eggs are, that they do encourage play. So there's some sort of, sometimes it's like in those cases, with the first case that I mentioned, Robinett's case, he's communicating directly with the player. So really kind of taking the person out of play, but sometimes it can be different information. You can find some things, and why it helps. Well, actually, Easter eggs can even become a type of currency. So as people find them, they start to collect them. Think of some stuff like inside of Pokemon Go. There'd be a lot of Easter eggs inside of there. Most players are going to move straight through the game to get to the win state, but other players are going to enjoy moving around looking for Easter eggs, finding maybe it's pieces of trivia or something. So using them in a learning program, it's important that the power of the Easter egg is that it is not consequential. So if you don't find it, you don't lose, right? So that's very, very important. But it's a side quest. It's something that the player, let's say I'm the player, as I'm moving through, I'm making the choice to find them, and then it becomes fun for me because, like I said, there's something there that other players aren't getting. So if it's some information, a piece of trivia, some sort of communication, some sort of status given to me because I found the Easter egg. So in we have 3 levels of certification in gamification design. And so in our level 2, inside the narrative is an Easter egg that's taking place in Paris. The characters, the non-player characters, are moving on a journey, and they happen to be in Paris for this one. So in French, I said they were eating at this cafe on this street, and so I don't remember which is which, but that's what it was. They were at, translated in English, the cafe Let Us Play on the street Rue Level 2. And so the idea is, if you, first of all, reading through, most people probably just scan through the narrative because it's not really that consequential to the learning in the program. And most people, if you're are probably like me, if there's a word, you don't bother looking it up, you just keep going through it. Now, if you know French, you say, oh, I get it, because you already know French. But the point is, the joy of finding it is in and of itself. There's no consequence. We don't penalize anybody. We don't make them reread the story or anything like that. It's just a pure Easter egg. It's for the joy of the Easter egg. So when you think about it in your own learning, people like them. They enjoy them. They're fun. They're easy, especially if you have any sense of, you have a sense of humor, but especially with your sense of humor, it's a way of, as the designer, of putting some of that humor in there. It's also a way of rewarding with not a real reward, but it's a way of rewarding people, at least with their brain chemistry, in encouraging them to dig deeper in the learning of the program, in the subject matter. So have some fun with Easter eggs this week and with your design. Think about how you could place them. What would it look like? How would you hide it? How would they discover it? What would it be? What would be the joy of finding that Easter egg? So I encourage you to, in the comments below, share with us the Easter eggs that you've created, the experiences that your players, your learners had in discovering those Easter eggs. eggs, and also subscribe to the channel so that the next big head, big idea that comes along, you'll see it. Until then, have a great day and find some Easter eggs.